We're going to bring up Erick Williams is also going to be on the roast of Twilight. Give a hand for Erick Williams coming to the stage.
Hey everyone, hey guys, give it up for yourselves. Yeah. You're like, don't ask this crowd to exercise. That's you guys, be in silence for yourselves. Great job. That was perfectly executed. Exactly what I was looking for. I am Erick Williams, and I am not going to do any jokes about 9/11. This is the part of the show where you guys, the audience, get jokes told to you by someone who looks like an Amish man never went back from Rumspringa. I look like I just set up an antique shop in the big city where I sell hand-carved rocking chairs and chapstick made from beeswax. I look like Squidward took a selfie and used a human filter. Ask your grandkids how cell phones work and they'll tell you that's hilarious. You can probably tell by looking at me, I love breweries. Yeah. They're like fun factories, like the beer is brewed there. And adults are way too comfortable bringing their kids there. I was at a brewery on a Saturday afternoon and I said out loud, oh my God, this daycare makes the best IPAs. I told that joke at a brewery last Friday. None of the babies laughed. Breweries are just different. Like growing up, the only parents that brought their kids to the bars were the parents that got Child Protective Services called on them. Now, parents will have their kids' first birthday at the brewery. They will have PTA meetings at the brewery. They will meet Child Protective Services at the brewery. I was at the brewery on a Sunday afternoon. I swear to you, I saw a baby baptism. They just popped that kid's head right into a Dunkelweizen. I enjoy food trucks too. Oh man, because the food just tastes better when you have to chase the restaurant. Sure, you've had burgers and fries before, but have you ever had burgers and fries from a kitchen with speeding tickets? I was in line at this food truck and these guys behind me were having a conversation. One of them was like, man, women are too emotional, but you can't tell them that. And I just cut in. I was like, yes, you can. They just won't like it very much. It's men that you can't tell when they're being too emotional because they'll murder you. He did not like that. He was like, hey man, I don't think that's true at all, okay? So I said, calm down, sir. You're being too emotional. I bartended for a bit. I used to serve drinks at a golf club, and when you serve drinks at a golf club, you need to know all of the golf drinks. Like an Arnold Palmer is when you mix iced tea and lemonade. And a John Daly is when you mix an Arnold Palmer with vodka. Yeah. And a Tiger Woods is when you crash your car after leaving the club. Thank you, sir. One of the members at the club I worked at was a QAnon believer. So I'd be dropping off a pitch on Metal Light and I would hear, Joe Biden's brother, who owns an island next to Epstein Island, and Joe Biden knows how to drive a submarine. That's why Joe Biden isn't on the Epstein flight log. And I was like, man, that is the craziest thing I have ever heard. You think Joe Biden remembers how to drive? Can I confess something to you guys?
Go ahead.
Okay, I used to smoke a lot of pot. I know, that's the surprising part about it. Like, no, it's true. Like this one time, I was really stoned at the airport. And I thought to myself, man, I cannot believe they hired me. I actually got food poisoning recently, which is what I call mushrooms when I'm not sure everyone in the room isn't a cop. Looking at you, buddy. Like, you ever thought, we're all just carbon manifestations of consciousness, vibrating at different frequencies until the universe unfolds upon itself. And then thought, oh man, this food poisoning is really kicking in. I was on stage one time at an open mic, and I saw this guy on stage. Sorry, I was at an open mic, and I saw another comic on stage, and he was talking about buying mushrooms. God bless you. And he was like, yeah, my friend was like, we'll hit up this guy. He's in the band Pink Pony, and he's the bassist, and we'll just go over to his place and buy a half pound of mushrooms. And I went up to the dude afterwards, and I was like, you can't say that on stage. And he was like, why not, man? Is that your band? I was like, no, that's my mushroom dealer. See? Don't narc on stage. For the record, the Pink Pony is not a real band. I think spelling is important. Like, it can completely change the meaning of your message. Like, I was texting my friend, hey dude, what's good? Except I typoed and accidentally sent, hey dude, what's God? Which is a completely different message. Just one letter difference, but it's the difference between, hey, do you want to hang out, and hey, I might be in a cult. He was ready for it, though. He hit me back with, God is good, which actually answers both questions. But like, I know the answer to that. It's all the time. So I texted that back to him, or I thought I did. Turns out I typoed and accidentally said, I don't think that's true. You guys are fun. This is, oh man. You guys, I know I don't look like it, but like, I love food. Like, I love food. I love food. One of my favorite things about food is when I can afford it. Yeah, it's why I think Aldi is the best. Yes, for those of you that aren't familiar, Aldi is like Trader Joe's, but for poor people. Come on in, you'll recognize the products, bless you, but not the brand names. Bless you as well. Is there an allergen? Are people allergic to me? Like, I'm pretty sure Aldi's slogan is, hey, you can trust us, but the meat is suspect. Like, you go on in, you'll recognize the products, but not the brand names. I don't know who Clancy is, but Frito-Lay should be filing a class action against him. And everything at Aldi is affordable, and they pay their employees a living wage, which is why there's never more than 3 of them on site at any time. I don't know who Aldi's trying to trick with that 4th checkout aisle. It's a 3rd nipple. Nothing's ever coming through it. And Aldi has 107 different types of frozen pizza. That's right, I counted. And smoked salmon. You guys, that's the freezer of the cool single dad. It's not delivery, it's divorce. Guys, I'm Erick Williams. You've been wonderful. Come check me out. This Thursday, I will be hosting a free comedy show at the back patio of Alburo Dos in Regent Square. Enjoy the rest of your show.
One more time for Erick Williams. And, all right, since he spoke about Aldi's, just round of applause. Who here is an Aldi's fan? Are you Aldi's shoppers? Every time I go to Aldi's, I have a cart full of things, and I never have a single meal in there. I don't know how you shop. Nothing connects to another thing. I have like sliced meats that are meant for a charcuterie board and like a wagon wheel in all right, you can all shop wherever you want. It's not shopper shame night. Our next comic can be listened to on episode 2 and 3 of season 1 of our podcast. You can see him around. He is Jared Helfer. That is how I am going to describe him. Give it up for Jared Helfer coming up.
Erick speaks the gospel truth. My name is Jared Helfer. How you doing, everybody? Everybody doing good? This is a fun show. I got an impression. I'm going to start with an impression. This is an impression of a bug I just saw outside. There you go. The rest of my stuff sucks. You could take that one home with you. I'm Italian. A little about me. I'm Italian and Jewish. That means I was circumcised with a cigar cutter. Little joke there. Sad news, my car died. Cancer. Another sad news. I'll have a sad news. You know, Erick was like, you want to do a show in a library for, my flock or whatever. I was like, all my stuff is horrific. Another sad news, my goldfish just got Alzheimer's. He only has a 3-second memory. All right, that sucks, whatever, who cares? How about this? This one's fun. I love movies. Here's something I do actually love. I love movies. I've seen like all of them. I picked out like 3 that I haven't seen. Do you guys know like the Venice Film Festival? Like it's kind of like award show season. A movie I'm looking forward to is The Rock's The Smashing Machine. You ever hear of this? I guess it's about a smashing machine. I don't know what it's about. But it got a 15-minute standing ovation at the Venice Film Festival. So that seems like a lot, right? 15 minutes standing ovation, that's like, it's not the second coming, it's like a movie. I like movies, but I'm just saying 15 minutes is a lot. If we can I think I came up with my, and like apparently The Rock says it's my masterpiece. I think it's a great movie. I think I came up with my masterpiece joke. And if we can, I'm going to time it out for 45 seconds. If we could all clap for 45 seconds. Let's see how this is. So I'll tell the joke. This I think is my masterpiece, and then I'll tell it. Okay. They say an apple a day keeps the doctor away. But it turns out shoving 3 apples up your ass brings the doctor to you. That was only 40 seconds. And I'm just saying 15 minutes seems like a lot to me. Imagine that. I don't know. How about this? All right, you guys are like Christians, right? Sorta? Yes, right? People always go like Adam and Eve. I like how it's interesting. Homophobes always go like, it's Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. Like, that worked out so good. Anybody read more than like 3 pages of that book, we get kicked out of even. Pretty sure if, Adam and Steve, they'd be like, we're just gonna eat pasta and blow each other. I don't know, hold hands, whatever. I try to clean it up. I can't clean it up. It's hard to clean it. I'm poor, like the Christ himself. I'm poor. I'm like upper middle poor. You know what I mean? Like people always go, like lower class poor always goes like, oh, look at you, 2 soaps. Soap that doesn't smell like soap. It smells like an idea or something like that, like spring. You know what I mean? I heard that phrase, money doesn't buy happiness. Have you ever heard this phrase? Yeah. You ever look up like the origin of that phrase? It's interesting. I looked it up. It was the 17th century like Danish philosopher like Horace Wilkins or something like that. He's known for that phrase, money can't buy happiness. And he's less known for his follow-up phrase, just kidding. It's almost pretty much required. It's pretty important, as it turns out. I don't know. Jesus said, this is another thing. What's his phrase? Like, it's easier for a rich man to get in a, what's the phrase? Do you know that phrase? Like, it's easier for a rich man. Right, it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of the needle than a rich man to get into heaven. And a lot of people these days go like, oh no, see the camel, the needle means the gate of Jerusalem or something like that. So it's actually like there's just enough space for a camel to get through. It's still like you can't bring a lot of stuff. And I'm pretty sure Jesus would have been like, look, T-Rex through a keyhole, cruise ship through a peephole, V6 rocket through my tiny holy ass. I don't like rich people. God damn it. All right. I got the comments. I'm so sorry. How's everybody doing? Everybody doing fine? I could tell you, I don't know, you done with negativity? You don't like that? I could tell you something, a thing that happened that made me think of the good in people. I tell you, this is a real thing that happened to me. So I was like in 9th grade, and I wasn't the stud that you see earlier today, 6-pack stud, has a million friends, and am rich. And, I was just like a little kid. I was 14 years old, and I was pudgy little dude. I thought I was badass, but got invited to my first party with girls. It's that first like month of school where it's like really important. I was going to a new school, meeting all these new people, and my friend Bill and Calvin, invited me to this party, and I was like really nervous. So my mom was like, you know what we'll do? She's really nice. She's supportive. She was like, you know what I'll do? I'll make you your favorite food, like lasagna. I love lasagna. That was like a comfort food. So I ate like a couple helpings of lasagna. And then, like, you know, she drove me to the party, and I got there, and she was like, have a nice time, you know. So I got in. I wore, like, my only college shirt that I had that I think I got from my bar mitzvah or something like that. And I went inside the party, and I was so nervous and just like that and stuff like that. And it was my friend's 14th birthday party, and I just kind of sat in the couch. There was, like, a beer. Like, so, you know, we were all like sharing a beer, probably, like, you know, and like watered down wine that they clearly just watered down for, you know, other parties. And I was just like holding a beer, and I was like, am I gonna go to jail? Like, I'm gonna go to jail for having a beer. People were taking pictures. I was like, get that camera out of my face. Oh my God. I'm gonna go to Sing Sing. I just watched like Midnight Express, so I was like, I don't know what they do to people. I'm gonna die in there, you know. I'm gonna have to join a gang, something like that. And I'm not a white supremacist, so I guess I'm gonna join the Black Panthers or something like that. What do I do? Does that work? I don't know how that works. So I was just sitting in the corner, and everybody was just like, you know, having a nice time, and no one was talking to me. And I just, all of a sudden, just this lasagna was hitting. And I just was like, oh, okay, it's fine. Everything's fine. You know, everything's going good. You know, I saw like this hot girl, I think, and I was like, should I talk to her? Like, yeah, I got to talk to her. Like, I gonna say, I love you. So, no, that's too much. You know, hi, you know, hi, hey, hi. And I think it was too much, and I just threw up. And I felt myself throwing up, so I tried to swallow it. And that doesn't work. It's actually cooler if you just throw up, just own it, just be like, ah, you know. But instead I tried to swallow it, and then it came out, and I did this. And I was still in so like I had like a pile of lasagna, of my mom's lasagna, like, and I was just like wiped it out and stuff like that. And I was just like, sitting in the corner. I was like, it was like a wandering the desert, you know what I mean? I know what it's like to wander the desert like alone, you know, the dark night of the soul. On a birthday party, and just like, thank God no one I knew was there. Because I was just like, hi, and then like people were sitting next to me having a nice time. Like, you see Brad or whatever, you guys like science class, and then I was like, huh? That I remember some hot girl going like, well, not at the time, not now. As a child, was like, do you guys smell anything? And so I was like, no, I don't think so. And then it's hot candles. I was like, and I remember my friend, like, literally, like, it was probably maybe about a minute and a half, but it felt like 3,000 years. And I remember my friend Bill came up to me, because he was like, well, he's not a social butterfly, but he's at least like a social cocoon, you know, something like that. Social caterpillar, possibly. And he was like, what's going on? Are you doing okay? And he said, I was like, And he was like, what's up? And I was like, threw up in it. And he was like, oh, okay. Hey, everybody, let's go outside. Let's go outside. Let's. It's such a beautiful night. It was raining, you know. It sucked outside. And he was like, let's go outside. Let's go on. And like everyone was like, why would we go outside? What are you talking about? Let's go on an adventure. Got everybody out of the room, and eventually, like, you know, got everybody out. Like, they were like, is Jared coming? He's like, no, Jared's cool. Which made me think like, oh, like, probably they were like, ooh, this guy's mysterious. He's like a loner, you know what I mean? And I got everybody out. I took my shirt off, threw it away, cleaned myself up, called my mom. She came to get, 10 minutes ago, she was like, oh shit, fuck. Yeah, I'll be there in 10 minutes. She probably barely left the cul-de-sac, really. And I just remember, it was from friend's Mike's house, and we all just like, Mike was like, we'll get him next time. And, I hugged Bill. And I went to hug Halvin. He was like, we don't need to hug at this point. You're covered in fucking puke, dude. But I love you. And then as they were, hanging out outside, just watching me shirtless, my mom pulled up, and me shirtless just walked past all the people that I'd never met. I said, see you next time. And just got in the car and just left. And I remember that story every single day. That's a beautiful story to me. That's the greatest thing to ever happen in my life. Do something like that for somebody in your life. Thank you so much. That's been...
You guys think of Jared?